The afternoon sun cast long shadows across the bustling streets of Brunswick, Georgia. The town was alive with the hum of daily life, people going about their routines, unaware of the dark events about to unfold. It was November 4th, 2019, a day that would forever be etched in the memory of one young woman, a day that started like any other but would end in a desperate struggle for survival. She had just finished her shift at the daycare and was walking to her car, unaware of the dark fate that awaited her. Her mind was filled with thoughts of the children she cared for, completely oblivious to the lurking danger. Suddenly a figure emerged from the shadows, a bandana masking his face. His eyes were cold and determined, his intentions clear.
"Get in the truck now!" he barked, his voice filled with menace.
Javier Sanchez Mendoza, her tormentor, had returned. He had been waiting for this moment, planning his move with chilling precision. Brandishing a knife, Mendoza forced the terrified woman into his truck. Her heart pounded as she realized the gravity of her situation. A witness, seeing the struggle, immediately dialed 911. The call was frantic, the urgency clear in their voice. Officers Ronnie Cooper and Jeremy Stagner, veterans of countless calls, knew instantly that this was no ordinary abduction. They sprang into action, their training kicking in. Mendoza sped out of town, his captive shrinking in fear beside him. The road ahead was long and uncertain, filled with dread. Their destination, a secluded cemetery shrouded in the eerie silence of approaching twilight. The air was thick with foreboding, the shadows growing longer. As Mendoza dragged her from the truck, the woman knew this was her last chance. She had to act quickly, her life depended on it. The 911 call, a chilling testament to the abduction, was relayed to all available units. The urgency in the dispatcher's voice was palpable, echoing through the radios of every officer on duty. The dispatcher's voice was tight with urgency as she broadcast the description of Mendoza's truck. Every detail was crucial, every second counted. Adrenaline surged through officers Cooper and Stagner as they sped towards the highway, their minds racing with the possibilities of what they might find. Their sirens a screaming counterpoint to the frantic beating of their hearts. The tension was almost unbearable.
"We've got to find her before he does something terrible."
The officers knew they were dealing with a desperate man, a man capable of unspeakable cruelty. They had to act fast, every moment was critical. Just when their hopes seemed to dwindle, a flicker of recognition. Could it be?
There, that's the truck!
Mendoza's truck was spotted on a desolate stretch of road leading towards Jessup. The chase was on, and there was no turning back now. The chase was brief. Mendoza, realizing the futility of escape, pulled up outside his dilapidated mobile home. The officers, their hands hovering over their holsters, approached the truck cautiously.
She's for Santa Muerte.
He stepped out, muttering incoherently, his gaze fixed on something inside the trailer. The officers' hearts pounded in their chests. Bursting through the door, they were met with a sight that sent chills down their spines. Bound and gagged, the victim lay on the floor, a single tear tracing a path through the dust on her cheek.
"Help me, please!"
The officers sprang into action, their years of training kicking in. They moved with precision and determination, knowing that every second counted in such a high-stakes situation. Mendoza was quickly subdued and apprehended, his ramblings silenced with handcuffs. The swift action of the officers ensured that he had no chance to escape or cause further harm.
"It's over, Mendoza, you're done. Your reign of terror ends here."
As paramedics rushed to tend to the traumatized woman, a wave of relief washed over the officers. They knew their efforts had saved lives and brought a sense of justice to the victims. The investigation that followed Mendoza's arrest uncovered a sprawling human trafficking network. The scale of the operation was staggering, involving numerous victims and perpetrators. Mendoza, it turned out, was just a small cog in a vast criminal enterprise. The network spanned multiple countries and had been operating for years.
"We've got a lot more work to do. This is just the beginning. The fight against human trafficking is far from over."
The woman, forever marked by her ordeal, found solace in the arms of her family. Their support would be crucial in her journey to recovery. Mendoza, stripped of his power, faced the full force of the law. His days of exploiting the vulnerable were finally over.
In 2021, Javier Sanchez Mendoza was sentenced to 30 years in federal prison. Justice had been served, but the scars left behind would take much longer to heal.